those wet noodle team sergeants, I call them wet noodles because they kind of just bend and they're kind of like Gumby, and they think that's the right way of leading.
So now you went to selection. Did you and your brother talk about, did he ended up going that route also, or did he
So
stay?
he asked me. So, man, and I don't want this to go off the wrong way, but so I went to my first team. I went to 110 over in Stuttgart, Germany. And I came to an old team, right? When I say old team, back then, you know, we had guys on the team, E7s with almost 20 years in the Army.
Oh, wow.
Right? And, you know, team sergeants with, if you were lucky, he made it just before 20, or he was right in the 20 mark, or maybe even beyond 20 years in the Army. So you had a lot of real senior dudes. Dudes have been around the block a while, dudes with some injuries, dudes, you know, that just, they were tired. And being a young Ranger, like, I was like oil and water, man. I wanted to get out and train, I wanted to deploy, and I wanted to show everybody that we had the best team. And so I had a lot of youthful exuberance. I realized that. And I had some really good team sergeants that really helped kind of, even though I wanted to be in a world with a whole bunch of professionals not yelling, it's just hard to take that out of you when you've been at it for 4 years, right? So I needed some coaching and some mentoring with regards to that to get me where I wanted to be. But my first team sergeant and my first team was a challenge. So when my brother asked me, he goes, "Bill, I'm thinking about going to selection. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Man, bro, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not happy." I was on the ledge, Jay, a couple of times where I almost like wanted to withdraw and go, "Hey, man, I'll terminate status and I'll go back to the infantry and just do needs of the Army," because I was that miserable for about 6 to 9 months. And here's what happened. I got a new team sergeant. We went from a team that wasn't deploying, that got piecemealed whenever we'd go do something, to rock stars. And only one person changed.
Yeah. And that goes to tell you, because I always preach, and you can attest to this, that team sergeant position, like, he is Mike Tyson. Like, he is the guy in the team room.
That's correct. And that team sergeant job, the best job in SF, hands down, in my opinion, and it is the hardest job.
Oh, yeah.
To include my first sergeant time, my sergeant major time, my CSM time. That team, because you've got it coming from all ends, right? You feel the pressure from your company leadership. You feel the pressure from your team, from your guys, because they're all holding you accountable, and the sense of not wanting to fail and not wanting to fail them, and them being your guys on the team and your leaders, and how do you bring those two things together? Man, that is a art that, you know, as you know, Jay, not a lot of team sergeants are meant for it, right? There's some of them that just, they fail. Yeah. But then there's some that do really well. Yep. And that's magical, right? So that second team sergeant I had was absolutely magical. And I'm going to say his name because I don't think he would mind, because he's retired, obviously, been retired for a while. Dave Connor. Dave Connor, man, he was phenomenal. Yeah. And he was the right team sergeant for me at the time in my life, where he wasn't crushing me. He would actually listen to me. And then he'd go, "Okay, I heard what you said, Bill, and I don't agree, we're doing this." Yeah. But that's what I needed to hear. I didn't need to get the, "Hey, man, you're too much to handle," or, "Hey, you're too intense," or, "Hey, I got time for you." Right? I needed to, "Hey, I'm a staff sergeant in the United States Army. I've been around a while. I want you to at least acknowledge that I had this conversation with you." And he was really good at that. Yeah. So my advice to any of the team sergeants is, listen to your heretics, listen to the people that are your pain in the asses, because you might learn something, but then just let them know, like, I'll listen to you, but once I make a decision, it's final.
Yeah. And I like that, because it speaks to leadership, because we both know that the type of guys that show up to our team room, you got to be a strong leader to lead them. You can't just toss them off to the side and ignore them. That's not going to work.
That's right. Yeah. Those wet noodle team sergeants, I call them wet noodles because they kind of just bend and they're kind of like Gumby, and they think that's the right way of leading. But the reality is, when you're around a whole bunch of real, truly apex meat eaters, like that, one, you got to listen to them, because they will have good ideas and they will execute in a phenomenal at a phenomenal level. But if you don't listen to them, and then if you don't make a decision, they will eat you up.
Oh yeah.